So, good morning, everyone.
Morning, ma'am.
Good
Morning, ma'am.
Morning,
morning.
ma'am.
Tugnaw kaayo. Okay, so we have, ano na, mag-share screen ko. Gamay ra lagi ta. Okay, so let's start. Okay. So last time our topic was about kinetics. So it is more on the speed of the reaction, how fast or how slow the reaction would proceed to a product, how fast the disappearance of the reactant, and how fast is the appearance of our product. It's more about on the speed, how fast and how slow. But this time, class, we here we are going to tackle about how far. Okay. So last time we talked about how fast, but this time in equilibrium, it talks about how far. Okay, how far would the reaction proceed? In what direction would the reaction proceed? Will it favor the reactant, or will it favor to the appearance of our products? No. Okay, so so in life, it is all about balance, di ba? So, ganahan kita mas stable, ganahan kita to have a balanced diet, a balance, to have a balance between our study and our family, balance, to have a balanced time with our friends and our family also, balance with our money, our finances also. So that's all balance. But however, there are mga disturbances, there are stresses that maka-affect po sa ato ang balance. So, balance in life, so in chemistry, that is what we call equilibrium. Okay, in science, that is equilibrium. Ay, gipanog na kay ko. Okay, so that is equilibrium. Then, okay, so we have that one. So we have learned that during our previous topic, we've learned that a reaction would proceed, proceed forward or proceed backward. And also here in equilibrium, we don't accept that ang reaction is just unidirectional. To move forward or get siya. Here, we consider the reverse reaction. We consider the forward and the backward reaction for it to become balanced. So, move forward ta, and then we reverse direction to maintain our balance. Okay, so let's go. Wait, so class. Okay, so we have this one. Kinetics applies to the speed of reaction. Okay. The concentration of product that appears or of the reactant that disappears per unit time. Okay, per time because that's a rate. Now we also have equilibrium. Okay, here in chapter 2, it applies to the extent of the reaction. Wa mo gitugnaw? Gitugnaw like kay ko. The concentration of reactant product present after an unlimited time or once no further change occurs. So we have at equilibrium. Equilibrium appears when there's no change occurs. Okay, no change anymore. No change in the forward, in the rate of forward, and in the rate of reverse. So they are equal. So if that's the case, if there's no change anymore, so that's the case that we have attained or achieved dynamic equilibrium. Okay, no net change is observed because changes in one direction are balanced with the other. So the rate of the forward is balanced to the rate of reverse. So let's take a look on this ano. Okay, dinitrogen tetraoxide. Okay. So we have N2O4 and we have it yields it which has a product of 2NO2. So at first we have this one N2O4. Our N2O4 is first ano ano siya? Yes, not colorless jud. Ayan, yes, it's colorless. Here in our container is not colorless na siya because we have 2NO2. Yes, now, after some time, okay, after some time, our concentration of this one, of this our NO2 is brown in color. Okay, that is brown. This one, our N2O4 is colorless. Ay, kakulog ko. N2O4, okay, we have colorless. So if we add more NO2, as you can see class, di mo siyang brown. It becomes, ano, na change iyang color. And then, look at the third container. In the third container, it becomes, mas brown pa siya. Because the concentration of our NO2 has increased. Agree? Agree mo class ni increase ang concentration sa NO2? Ay, NO2 lagi?
Agree lang.
Yes, ma'am.
Unsa agree na lang. Okay, we have, okay. Yeah, as you can see, this is the concentration of our NO2. 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 Okay. So, and then during a reaction, during a reaction, it is the appearance of our NO2, the appearance of our product. So, as we proceed along the way, the product appears. So, nagkadaghan ang atong product. And then, in our in macroscopic level, in our eye level, makita nato in a bigger view, we can see the change in color. The change in color which is in brown. And then here, now in the last container, in the last container was we can see that one that the brown it has top here. The brown color kay wala na siya ni ano pa jud ni brown og ayo because it has reached its equilibrium already. There's no change anymore, no change in color anymore. And that also in a molecular level, ay gakurog kay ko class ay. In a molecular level, we can see that our product, our NO2 and our N2O4 has no net change now. So that depends only, okay, this one has reached equilibrium. It does not matter which it does not matter sa ato ang initial concentration. The initial concentration is gamay ra kaayo. But inig-abot dito is maabot bisan no matter how gamay or how big the initial concentration, it still will reach at equilibrium. Mabalance siya po siya. Okay, so that one, wala na siya, nag-change of color. It means that it has reached its equilibrium. Okay. Wait, madunggan pa ko?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am.
yes,
Okay. Wait. Na ako i-accept, na ako ma-accept. Wait. Okay, so let's go. So, anak class ha, at equilibrium, no net change. Then the forward and the rate of the forward and the reverse are equal because it has reached its dynamic equilibrium. Just like here in macroscopic level, kaning in a bigger point, in a point of view, we can see that no change of color na because it has reached equilibrium. Now, whereas in 1, 2, and 3, nag-change siya, change forward, up to mahimo siyang brown. So here, is this at equilibrium? Container 2, at equilibrium na siya class, balance na siya. Hello? Wala na
Sa
nga.
timing nga, ma'am.
Putol-putol akong tingog.
Dili naman.
Okay, ang
Okay,
container
tama.
2 class. Ang container 2, balance na siya or at equilibrium na, dili
Dili
pa.
pa, ma'am.
Dili pa, ma'am.
Okay, dili. Yes, dili pa. So, what container has achieved its balance?
4, ma'am.
3.
3
Four.
o siguro.
Has
Four.
achieved
4, ma'am.
Ma'am.
what container
3, ma'am. 3.
Three.
3
its
o 4.
3 og 4, ma'am.
4, ma'am.
so,
4 o 3, ma'am.
okay, so the
Wala,
3
wala pa kay 1 2 3 rabay ingon.
sa tanan. So we have our 4. Okay, so the fourth the
3.
fourth container
3.
has
4. 4.
achieved its equilibrium. No net change na gyud siya. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Final na 4.
Oo, 4 yun eh.
Okay, kung ang final state niya, di naman
Oh, final na. Oh, di ba? Yung lang accept. Okay, so that's it. So no net change na class. Okay. So now let's go again. So if the rate of the forward is equal to the reverse, that is at equilibrium. If rate forward is equal to rate reverse, then rate forward of the reactants is equal to rate of reverse of the product. So that is at equilibrium. Our K here is the equilibrium constant. So notice class, it's big K. So it's big K. So what other what is that has a unit of K, big K. Isa pa,
Kelvin, ma'am.
temperature.
Kelvin.
Di ba temperature has a Kelvin which is big K also? Okay, Kelvin. Now, but don't be confused, class, because Kelvin is lang siya, natural, but here in equilibrium, it's still big K and also it's italic. Okay, we write it it's italic class, italic. But here, di man siya italic. Okay, but in another siya class, a Kelvin has a big K and it's not an italic or nor bold. But here in our equilibrium constant, it's italic. So class, equilibrium constant is our K here is our way to quantify the concentration of our product and our reactant at equilibrium. So at equilibrium, okay? Class, notice always should mo always careful with the word at equilibrium. The system is at equilibrium because here in our this is before equilibrium ba disla? Before equilibrium. This is before equilibrium and our we also have our at equilibrium. So we have this one. So our K here is a way to quantify the concentration of our product and our reactant. So it's still a ratio. It's a ratio of product over reactant. So don't be confused, Nana class, that it's always a product over our reactant. Now class, what about the M and N here? Unsa man ning M and N? Unsa ning M and N here, class?
Reaction order.
Okay, so reaction order. Yes, that's what we have learned in our kinetics. It's the reaction order. But here also, this is also our reaction order. And in our kinetics, di ba, we cannot directly assume, we cannot directly look at the value of our reaction order by just looking our stoichiometric equation mo na sa atong kwan dapat experiment na to siya makuha di ba class? Mao
Yes,
ba to
ma'am.
magkuha ta sa to
Yes,
experiment
ma'am.
Oo.
na magkuha tag M and N. But here, unlike sa atong sa equilibrium, it's our makita ra na to
Coefficient.
siya sa atong stoichiometry. Makita ra na to siya sa atong balance equation. So if we have A and A plus B, then we have our product. Note that it's reversible, class. When it's reversible, it can go forward and then it can go backward. So our arrow will be this one. Okay, that's an arrow of our reversible reaction. Or if we have that one, that's still reversible. Or if we have this one, reversible, the arrow here. Now, if we have in our kinetics, daghan man to itong nakita na, inana ra to ang arrow, that's unidirectional. It can only go forward. So the reaction only goes forward. So example of reaction only unidirectional is ano, we have a candle. Okay, if we light a candle, okay, then we have produced a heat, a light, not a product na light. Then it cannot go backward. Di na pud nato ang katong na melt na nga carbon, di na ba ito mobalik. So it's just unidirectional. This one is. So we have this arrow, but in a reverse reaction, it can go and it can go forward and it can go backward. So the equation or the symbol is this one. Now, if we have a product C and then big C plus D, and then we have the big D. So, our coefficients here, class, is our, the M and the N.
M-I-N.
Okay, yes. So, we have, all right, naman there, are those of the coefficients in the balanced chemical equation. Note that this is equilibrium, not kinetics. The rate of the forward and the reverse reactions are equal. Okay, so the rate of the forward and the reverse of reactions are equal. Note not the concentration of our reactants and our products. So here, class, is the rate niya, dili ni siya concentration, just merely the concentration of the reactant and the products. It's the rate. The rate of the forward and the reverse is our equilibrium. Okay, so all right, so the rate of okay, so we have all right, so we also have learned that okay, the forward and the reverse are your elementary steps man na siya. Okay, then we have the change of equilibrium constants. Okay, if we have here, if this is our the rate of our A will be our, so the blue one will be our what? Reactant, it's A. And then our reactant, and then we have the red one, it's our product. It's RP. Okay, our reactant and our Okay. So if we have here that, okay, we only have one product. Okay, one product. So what will be our equilibrium on that? That is equal to, di ba, product na siya over reactant class.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Reactant
so
over product.
reactant over product.
Product ang nasa taas.
Okay, product over reactant, Jerome. All right, so we have product over our reactant. Now here, we have only one. Okay, we have only one product, one red. One red, and then we have daghan kayong nga reactants. Example, that's 100. So what will be the value of our K here? In letter A, pataha, picture A.
0.01.
0.
01, ma'am.
Okay. So that
0.01.
that is very small. Okay, upadagkon pisud natin na siya. Okay. So pasabot class, magkadaghan mo ang reactant, then your product will be the same. Nana, kung magkadaghan mo ang reactant, then you will have a very little K. Gamay kayo mo ang value sa K. And when that happen, it means that if our K is very small, it means that it favors where? When K is very small, it favors,
Kuan, ma'am. Reactant.
okay, it favors our reactant. You see this one? Daghan kayo atong reactant. Okay, because K is very small. Now, if we have here, our K here is our class na note na ko ano ninyo. Ako ra siyang gibutang class ha. Ang number of products, we have the red one. Okay, we gibutangan na nako na siyang value. Example, that's 1. 1 naman na dira. Okay, example, that's 1. And then we have our product, daghan kayo. Example, it's 1,000. So, ang mahitabo class,
0.01. Zero.
Okay. Okay, kung magkadako kayo ang atong R, then ato ang K will be gamay kayo. A number divided by dako kay nga number. What will be the answer?
Gamay lang.
Gamay
Oh,
ang
gamay
kuan, answer.
Okay. Oh, gamay kayo. So this one, if daghan kay mo reactant, then your K will be slow, will be gamay kayo, and then that means na ang imuhang the system, this is our system. Okay, the system favors the product. So daghan kayo ang the reactant, sorry. It favors the reactants. Now, if we have a large K, now, if a big number divided by a gamay nga number, what will be our answer?
Larger, ma'am. Dako ang...
Dako
Dako.
siya, dako.
Sure ang
Oh,
kuan.
all right. So it's big. So we have larger K, and that means our system favors the
Product.
Product, ma'am.
Product.
Okay.
Product.
Very good. Now if we have an intermediate when the same the same imong product and the same imong reactant. Okay. So if we have a number that is divided by if we have 2 ang product divided by 2 na reactant, what will be our K?
Equilibrium, ma'am.
Balance.
It is
Balance naman, balance.
Balance.
okay.
Balance
It
yan.
is alright. It is 1 or approximately 1. So our direction, okay, it neither favors our reactant nor our product. So that's it. It neither wala siya gipaboran. It's not the product or our reactant. So that's it, class. You just take note of the small k and the value of the large. If we have a large k, what will happen? Okay, so that's it. Now, if we have, okay, we also have this one, our reaction. Okay, so our reaction. No. Okay. Okay, a reaction quotient is at any time, the system can be sampled to determine the amounts of reactants and the products present. Okay, so we are going to determine the reactants and the product present in the system. So a ratio of the products to reactants calculated in the same manner as K tells us whether the system has come to equilibrium. Okay, whether the reaction has to proceed farther from reactants to products or in the reverse direction from products to reactants. Okay. So class, we have we have the K. The K is our equilibrium constant. It quantifies, it's a way to quantify the concentration of our product and reactant at equilibrium. Okay. At equilibrium. Now we have also our reaction quotient is just simple. Okay. Okay, reaction quotient. So we have our Q. So it ano ni siya, it considers more on the concentration of our product and our reactant. So if they have the same, so our quotient also is just product over our reactant. Now, if we have, and also Q tells us in what direction will our reaction proceed? Will it proceed to the left or will it proceed to the right? So the Q tells us that one. Okay, so if we're okay, the Q tells us, I know, if we compare if we compare Q and K, then we will know. So if the value of Q and K is equal, then what does it mean, class?
Attain na siya sa equilibrium, ma'am.
It is in the state of equilibrium.
Na siya sa equilibrium.
Okay, it has reached its equilibrium. Very good. So that's Q is equal to K. Now, what happened when our Q is less than our K?
Kuan, ma'am.
Kailangan pa siya mag-proceed.
Kailangan siya mo
It
adto
is
sa
in the reverse
product,
direction.
ma'am.
From the product to reactant.
Mo layo siya sa
Isa ba?
reactant to mo padulong siya sa product.
Oo, mas layo siya sa reactant.
Reactants must decrease, product must increase.
Okay, so it will go forward. It will go forward. Forward is it will favor the product. Okay, so if Q is less than K, then it will proceed forward. It will from the reactant to our product. Now, whereas if if Q is greater than K, then that's the time
Yes.
that our system has will have a reverse
Reverse.
direction.
Reverse.
Yes,
Okay.
it will shift to the left. It will shift to the left. Di ba ang left naman ng reactant dira? Class. Okay, so it will shift to the left from the product to our reactant. So it will go backward. So later we will know pa jud unsa jud ning Q and K. Okay. So we have a general reaction. If this one is our general reaction, okay, our Q will be this one. Okay, question. Question. Here. If we have this reaction, okay, this will be our quotient, reaction quotient. Question. None?
Wala, ma'am.
Wala, ma'am.
Okay, let's proceed. All right. Okay, so we have this one example, class. Okay, this is our table. It came from an experiment. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now we have this one. Okay, notice class that we have two N2O4 we have N2O4 and then we have NO2. Now ha? Banha kayo. Okay.
Putol-putol,
Putol-putol
ma'am.
ka, ma'am, oy. Putol-putol jud ka, ma'am.
Oo ba? Wait sa. Okay. Wala mong 20 class. Data lang.
Dagom sab kaayo.
Ha?
Dagom kaayo.
Tugnaw kayo. Lagi
Di,
tugnaw kayo.
nag-widescreen pa gid, ma'am.
Nag-white
Nag-white
screen.
screen siya.
Okay, sige. Bear with this na lang class mo. Originator coin. Okay na. White screen pa. Dili na.
Okay na,
Dili
ma'am.
na, ma'am, dili.
Okay na.
Okay, sige class. Balik ta. Ako ganina, the equilibrium constant is the same no matter what the initial concentration is. So as we can see here in our example, okay, if we have this one, if we have a reaction,
Unsa naman
okay,
ka,
we
ma'am?
have cause. Di na ako maklaro.
Nawala.
Wait, sabi. Nawala ako?
Ano, wala
Yes,
ka,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Kalit ka kawala, ma'am.
Missing ka, ma'am.
Sige, sige, wait na lang. Tataasan na lang natin itong pasensya. Okay, we have 0.01, 0.1. Okay, you see this one, class? Okay, this one. So,
Yes, ma'am.
this table, okay, this table is just a proof that the initial concentration does not, does not matter to our equilibrium constants. Look. So we change our concentration of N2O4 and then we change also the concentration from 0.1 to nothing, still the same. Our equilibrium constant is still the same. Now when we increase it slightly, our equilibrium constant is still the same. So this table proves us that the theory that equilibrium constant is the same no matter what the initial concentration is. Masha, that's what it
10.5
is.
ng
That
last,
an
ma'am.
equilibrium constant is the same. Ha?
10.5 ng last.
Hello? Yes.
Ma'am. 10.5 ng last.
Oh, yes, it's 10.5. So it's just a slight. Yes. Hello? Okay, it's 10.5.
May tangkanding, putol-putol.
Does it still constant, ma'am, even nag 10.5?
So, okay na siya, ma'am. Maski pag ano.
Yes, any class. As we can see, it's just a slight difference lang siya class, 10.5. And then we have from 10.4, as we can see here, it's consistent. It's constant. And then here, it's just ni-shift lang siya gamatoy. Maybe because of na siya. Let's consider some errors. So we can expect that's the one. So that's why we have 10.5. Okay, but still the theory that says that equilibrium constant is the same no matter what our initial concentration is. Okay, it holds true. Okay, so question. Madunggan pa ko?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so alright. Okay, so we have this one, the change in Q during N2O4, and then we have NO2 reaction. Okay, so we have here. Okay, so we have this one here. This is our initial concentration for our N2O4, initial concentration. And then we have this one, initial concentration of NO2. Now, no matter kung unsa ilang concentration, it still will, ano gihapon, it will proceed to equilibrium. As you can see here, nag-meet hapon sila here. Here. So, uh, so we have that one here. So K is, ano siya, is a special value of Q that occurs when our reactant our reactant and our product concentrations have their equilibrium values. So no matter na even ang NO2 N2O4 is has higher concentration, then our NO2 has a lower concentration, it will still proceed to equilibrium. It will still proceed to equilibrium, and it does not matter when we say equilibrium class, it does not mean na the concentration in your reactant is really equal to the concentration of our product. It does not matter. So mo na it favors the product and then it favors our reactant because nighttime na at equilibrium we have higher concentration of our product. At equilibrium, sometimes we have higher concentration of our reactant and then we have a lower concentration of our product. So at equilibrium, it does not mean that equal should ang imong product and then equal ang imong reactant. So at equilibrium, in a siya class, it does not matter that equal sila, but even if daghan ang imong concentration sa reactant, it still can achieve equilibrium. So it still has its equilibrium. Okay. Right. Okay, so we have this one. Writing the reaction quotient from a balanced equation. Okay, so we have here, write the quotient for each of the following reactions. So we have the decomposition of our pentoxide, dinitrogen pentoxide. Okay, decomposition reaction. Why decomposition? What the composition? Hello?
I-compose siya, ma'am. Murag, nag-breakdown bitaw, ma'am. Breakdown niya ang
Nahimo siyang
molecules.
reactant.
Breakdown niya ang molecules, ma'am, into smaller pieces.
It simply means decompose. When we have one reaction, that's decomposed. That's decomposition. We only have one and then a break, that's decomposition. Okay, so that's decomposition. We have that in types of reaction man class. We have decomposition is a one type of reaction. And then we also have combustion. Okay, combustion means what? It's a reaction. Unsa man class, it's a combustion. What does it mean? Unsa man ang combustion reaction?
High temperature. Murag makakuan siyag heat.
Kuan siya ka na,
Yes.
Apply og heat.
Yes, it has some. Okay, mo unsa ang hit?
Apply og heat, ma'am. Applying heat.
kuanan siya og
Increase of
oxygen, ma'am.
temperature.
Murag mahatagan sa kanang oxygen molecule.
Okay, so both correct mo class. It has something to do with the application of heat. A combustion reaction must proceed at higher temperature. Kung naa kay heat, addition of heat. And then also, of course, it's an addition of our O2 or of our oxygen molecule. So if you can see now with an addition of an oxygen molecule, especially if it's a hydrocarbon ano siya, it's only a carbon and the hydrogen. Okay, if we have carbon and hydrogen and then we add O2, that's a combustion. And then ano, plus pa jud class, plus we can see the product of a combustion reaction is always CO2 and H2O, carbon dioxide, and we have our water. Okay, so that's a combustion reaction. Addition of oxygen molecule at higher temperature and a product which is carbon dioxide and our water. Okay, so that is combustion. So decomposition, pag breakdown, decompose, atong basura i-decompose, malata. Okay, so we have this one. We have N2O5 which is a gas. We have NO2 which is also a gas. We have O2. It's a reversible reaction. Now we are asked of our reaction quotient. Now, first thing to do, class, is we have to what?
Balance, ma'am.
Okay, we have to balance now. Okay, so we have to balance. So the balance equation here is you put 2 to the N2O5 and then 4 to the NO2. Is it balanced na class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Alright. Let's not debate na lang ni. Okay, so it's balance. But okay, if you are given with this problem, first thing to do is you check if it's balanced. Okay, so we have this one. Okay, the product now, if we write the Q, now we ano jud ato jud siyang gi-emphasize the C. C is our concentration because later we will encounter the pressure also. Okay, so it's QC. QC is equal to the product. What is the product class?
4NO2
4NO2
plus O2.
plus O2.
Plus O2. Yes. And when you kuan na diri sa to reaction quotient, we will multiply raman no? We have NO2 raised to the 4 because of our coefficient 4. And then we have O2. We have O2 raised to the 1. So because of coefficient 1, but ano na lang, don't mind na lang. Over, we have N2O5 raised to the power of 2.
2.
That's it. Okay. So, no problem with letter A?
None, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Let's proceed to letter B. Now, in letter B, we have... Okay. So, class, you balance, class, ha? You balance. First thing is you balance. Now, we have here... Okay, so we have 5 H C3H8, that is propane, plus oxygen. Then we have carbon dioxide and we have water. Okay, so we have the QC is what? Okay, please read. QC is
QC is equal to CO2
2 raised to the power of 3 multiply 2H2O raised to the power of
H2O
4
4.
over C
C3H8 O2 to the power
raised
of
to the
5.
power of 6. I5.
okay. Now this one, class. Okay, so that's it. No problem with letter B.
None, ma'am.
None. Okay, now let's go to letter C, right? QC. What's the QC here? The reaction quotient.
QC is equals
One,
Yes.
ma'am.
First thing to do, is it balance?
Dili, ma'am.
Dili, ma'am.
Really?
Dili.
Why?
Ambot lang. Balance mo, guro.
Dili ay.
Unsa ning sa product
Okay,
ma'am?
so what are we going to do?
H plus?
I-balance, ma'am.
Mar
Kining sa product ma'am,
Mhm.
kining first kuan element sa product H plus na ma'am. H to the power
Okay, HCO3 minus. That's bicarbonate ion. Okay, so we have, is it ano na? Ano, is it balance?
Dili.
Balance mo, guro.
Balance. Balance na lang, ay.
Balance
Balance na
niya.
nga.
Kasi balance na lang.
Balance na lang.
Balance na lang.
Napugsan, balance na lang.
Yes, ma'am. Balance, ma'am.
Yes, balance. Actually, class na sa'yo, pero ako ato gani nagsulat sa ano, sayang
It's
subscript
plus gina sa ma'am.
bot.
It's plus.
Pero sa ay, oh,
Sa H,
ion,
ma'am
that's
ba?
an
H plus na, ma'am?
ion. Yes, hydronium ion.
Abi na kung sa data na, ma'am. It's plus.
Data. Okay, so that's an ion. Class naman tayo ion and ion, di ba? Cations and ions. Naman ta na. Okay, so, alright. So, wala man gid kita nakaka-review ana, but later in our next chapter, makabalo na ta ana. Sige. Anyways, we have this one. It's balance, okay? When you balance class, you don't disturb subscripts. Do you disturb?
Dili, ma'am.
Daily.
Dili,
What
ma'am.
about
Dili,
the
ma'am.
superscripts?
Sorry.
What about the superscripts? Do you disturb superscripts
Dili,
when you
ma'am.
balance? No. Unsa yung get disturb?
Coefficients.
lang niya, ma'am.
Coefficient.
Okay, so that's it. You did good. So this one, we have this one. It's a balance actually.
Ang
So we have the
coefficient, ma'am,
QC
kay mahina.
is
QC is kuan, ma'am. H plus times
Unsa na siya, ma'am?
times AO.
Na, ma'am, 99?
okay.
AG na, ma'am. EQ.
EQ.
Equius.
Ma'am, daro
Equius.
nga pagsulat, ma'am.
Okay. Bari na jud ko agi ka mo. Ina na jud na. Okay, we have. All right. Sige, sige. Okay, di ba class? Phases, we have gas, solid, liquid, gas. Okay, di ba? Solid, liquid, gas. We have
Yes, ma'am.
solids,
Yes, ma'am.
liquids, gas. And then we have also, dapat yung mga bago nga ito. We have the
Plasma.
plasma,
Plasma, ma'am.
the
Sigma.
brown yan, katong very cold and very hot. We also have that one. We also have that one. Phases of matter or states of matter, di ba muna? But I forgot those two. The very cold and the very hot one. Okay, so we have this one, S, the solid, the liquid, and the gas. Okay, here, class, kanang nasa ubos bitaw, class, it's the phase. It's the phase, the gas. So if we have N2O5, this means that this, our dinitrogen pentoxide, is actually a gas. It's a gas, so it's a gas molecule, so naglupad-lupad siya. It moves in a random motion. So it's a gas. Then we have also the L here. This one means
Liquid.
Liquid.
okay. What about the solid? Okay, we have solid.
S.
Buto de plato.
The solid. Now we also have aqueous, EQ, AQ. Okay, AQ class is your aqueous solution. Now it means that I know it's a liquid, and then
What?
mostly
Ang solvent.
the solvent there is water.
Dissolve
Okay, so
sa water.
it's aqueous. Now it's
Water.
yes, it's aqueous solution. So the solvent is ano jud siya water, whereas daghan man gud pong mga liquids na ang ilahang solvent is not water. But here in aqueous, we ano jud yag yung gi-emphasize AQ that the solvent there is water. Okay. So we have there. Okay. Now let's go back. So write QC.
Kuan ma'am. QC is
Oh, Jerome.
H.
Ma'am, nalo ko'y question ma'am ba? Based sa atong sa YouTube akong nakita, if ever ma'am nga naay solid dira ma'am, dayon ang yang mga kauban is gases, apil gyapon siya sa pagkuan sa QC? Ang solid?
Okay, yes, very good, Jerome. Okay, so let's, ano siya class, the QC. Okay, try sa ta. Sige, Adrian, what's the QC?
Ano sa ma'am?
Adrian,
QC
QC,
sa
what's
sa ma'am.
QC, reaction quotient? Kaning letter C nga equation.
Aw. Kanang kuan sa na it's plus. Oh, it's plus lagi.
Oh, okay, H
It's
plus.
plus. Equals.
Hydrogen ion. Plus, when you see minus, when you see minus, and then when you have plus pod na as superscript, you put ion, you put the name ion. We have hydrogen ion. We have potassium ion, kung na siya ay positive or negative. Okay, you put ion lang, sige. When you name that one. Okay, we have, sige, go Adrian.
It's plus. Iapil lang kuan ma'am kanang sa na EQ. Dili lang. H
Okay,
plus
H
times
plus. Ayan na.
HCO. Oh, di na day.
Okay. Then we have, what's the next? Times?
Times HCO3. Sanang po? Di negative 3 ma'am kanang
Oh, okay. Over.
kasi tawag ka ng over unsa na siya ma'am kanang nasa negative 3 say tawag ka na sa babaw.
That's our superscript. Okay, raised to the negative
Diba?
3.
Raise
They
dito,
are
raise to negative 3.
anions. Okay, later we will know ha. We will know next chapter. Okay. So we have then the
Iwason, no?
reactant.
Iwason
Oh,
over
tiwason.
CO2 over CO2 times H2O
Unsa pa?
times H2O ma'am. Na
Correct? Wala na. Okay, Jerome, is it correct?
mali na klaro.
Wala lagi superscript ang kuan ma'am. Ang wala mo day. Okay na ma'am.
Check, ma'am.
Ito na, ma'am.
Check ma'am.
Kyle, is it correct?
Dili ma'am.
Ano man?
Kay wala apil ang kuan ma'am liquid og solid sa kuan sa equilibrium constant or sa quotient.
Okay, so, all right. So, in a reaction quotient, we don't include class, the liquid, and the solid phases. So, those solids and those in solids and in liquid phase, wala siya ilabot. So, katoy magiingon Jerome na nakikita na YouTube. So, it's true. So, in that case, we will not write what?
Hydrogen.
HO2.
H2O. We will not write
Ma'am, pwede ko
H2O.
mangayaw kuan ma'am. O nganong dili man siya pwede i-appeal ma'am.
That's what it is. Dili la siya i-appeal because ano siya?
Rule.
Oh yes, it's a rule. That's what it is. It's more on our gas and in our it's only in our gas and in our aqueous solution because class the notice in a in our gas we have the molecules there are not in compact, right? When we have in our high school, the gases are bulag-bulag. The gas molecules are moving in random motion. They are not in compact. Okay, bisan asa lagyo kay siya. So that means that it can go forward and it can easily go backward. Whereas if we have our solid, the molecules in a solid is we have this one. Okay, if very compact.
Compact na.
Now it can easily
Dikit-dikit na kayo.
yes, dikit-dikit. So it's not easy for it to go backward, to go forward and then backward. So it's not easy for it for the solid. So but it's okay for our gas. Kaya ang gas is ano man na siya kaayo. It has wala galagyo kay mga molecules. So that's it. It's more on the composition, the structure of our gas molecules. Gas molecules moves in random motion, and
Lupad-lupad ra,
then
lupad-lupad.
lagyo siya. So it's easy for it to go forward and to go backward. Whereas to our solid, maglisod siya kung balik into its state good. For example katong ganina our candle, when we light the candle, we cannot go back nga mubalik siya og candle gyud. Kinalanay na siya. So it's not easy nga mubalik dayon siya sa iyang forward.
Murag
Mubalik
siya.
siya sa iyang original state. So that's it. We don't include our liquids and our solids in our equilibrium coefficient.
So only gases lang gid ang atong ikuan na niya, ma'am.
Yes, only gases, and we have the aqueous solutions.
So, dili jud
Aqueous
ta mag-include ma'am og liquid.
siya.
Liquid and solid,
Oh,
di
okay.
na to i-include.
Yes.
So, ay, kung lagi gas ra gid.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Okay, ma'am.
Unsa?
Nalagay H2O sa QC.
Okay, if we have this. Haman, you see, diri sa letter A? Letter B.
Sa B, ma'am, sa B.
Letter B. Okay,
Nalagay
look at the
H-
face,
nalagay
look at the
H2O.
state.
Gas
man
man
siya.
siya.
Sige.
Oh, yes. Because,
Wala ko bantay.
Nalipat sa gas.
okay, because dili could be out to water. Water does not only exist as liquid. It can also be a gas. Vapor, your vapor. Kana mga steam, your vapor is gas. So we have the water there.
Kanang
So we
mo
have the
ininit,
water
ma'am.
there. Ano siya? Okay, kanang inigbukal, singaw. It's a gas. It's water molecule in vapor. So it's gas. So the gas, so include nato siya. So you take note gyud sa iyahang iyahang state, solid, liquid, and gas. Okay. All right. So that's
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Now, okay, if we have this one. Okay. If we have
Ma'am, ibalik sa guto gadget, ma'am. Kaya ako screenshot, ma'am.
Okay, record mo na kami. Okay, that one.
Sige.
All right. We have calcium carbonate. Solid. Then it has a reverse reaction. Okay, if we have this one, CO2, gas. Okay, so what is QC?
CO2 over 1.
CO2.
CO2.
CO2 tapos divided by 1.
Oh, okay. Equal to, na Jerome?
Yes, ma'am. Parang
It's
niya na,
correct.
ma'am.
Yes. Okay, it's correct. But let's it kanang gwapa-gwapa pa siya tanawon. We have CO2. The same?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Same,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
All right. So good. Now let's go. Okay. So if we have this one, understanding reactions involving dinitrogen and oxygen, the most abundant gases in air. So we have nitrogen and oxygen. Okay. Yes, it's the most abundant gas in our air, the nitrogen. And then is essential for solving problems dealing with atmospheric pollution. Here is a reaction sequence between N2 and O2. to form nitrogen dioxide, a toxic pollutant that contributes to photochemical smog. Okay, so we have this one. Now show that the QC for overall reaction sequence is the same as the product for the QC as individual reactions. Now, class, I've said that this one, class, what do we call this one? Step 1 and step 2, they are? What?
Elementary step.
Okay, they are elementary steps. Alright, so write QC. Mag-CR sa ako. Wait. Sige, no, nasa. QC is...
Wa ko kaget.
Gas man siya tanan.
Dili ba? Kaya ang iyang total sa K is 1 kay 4.3 times 10 raised to the power of negative 25. So unsaon na to pag rate sa QC ana same sa K.
I don't know.
Mura tag maghatag tag value, no? Maghatag tag value sa mga
Basta ako,
Ang problema unsaon paghatag na to value ana karon nga wala may given.
lagi. Murag
Siguro ay i-balance na siguro na.
Balance na to. Ano na lang sa Casey?
Pag mabalance na siya siguro na tay kuan. Pero dili gyapon oy kay dapat magunaan maguhi kuan ng N or ang kuan nitrogen o ang kuan ani
ilagay
i-times
ang
mo na.
KC.
oxygen.
Balance naman siguro ni.
I-times sila para makuha ang kuan K overall. Calculate the KC for the overall reaction. So,
Kay
i-type ng
Okay,
KC1
so
o
letter
KC2
A.
para makuha ang
Okay, so QC for overall reaction sequence. Now, okay, so we have this one, diba? Elementary steps. We have step 1 and step 2. To have an overall reaction equation with this, we will itong reaction mechanism. Saman mo natin eh. To have an overall equation here,
Multiply?
we have
multiply ma'am.
Multiply, ma'am. Balance.
sa ayaw sa ng KC kanisa atong equation. We have this one.
I-add.
I-add, ma'am.
Cancel man eh. I-add. Di ba, i-add man ito na itong una? Okay, we have that one. So we will write N2
N2 plus
plus
O2
202. Ay,
Tuoto.
2O2. Very good. Then we have
202. Ay, 2NO.
2NO.
What?
2.
2.
2NO2.
Okay.
202.
Okay. Yes. Alright, so that's it. Makita ninyo ining class, ining mag-share screen ko. Makita po ninyo nga na mo pop-up nga Facebook and ana.
Dili ma'am.
Wala, ma'am.
Wala. Good.
Wala,
Okay,
ma'am.
sige. Let's go back. So this is our overall reaction, no? Because it's either naa sa ilhad dihi is a slow step and our fast step, di ba? We have the rate determining step here, and then we have our katong fast reaction. Okay, so for our overall reaction, we just sum the two reaction. So we have this one. And how do we get the KC overall?
I-times, ma'am.
KC overall is just okay. So class had note that for the reaction equation, we sum the two steps, and for our overall, if we will get the overall, then we will multiply K1 times K2. Question, sakto?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sige, Q1, K2. Now, it says that show that QC for overall reaction sequence is the same as the product of QC. QCS, this is overall mani of the individual reaction. Okay, this is overall then the katong individual. So, okay, sir, right now, let's write here in our, here. So, what's our QC in equation 1? Equation 1, we have
N2 plus 2O,
Plus O2,
O2 plus 2NO.
2NO.
equation. There's
Ikina-video ko.
class, okay pa mo?
Okay pa, ma'am.
Still
Okay
breathing,
na.
ma'am.
Okay.
May
Alright,
panglasa,
it's
ma'am.
good. Si fight. I fight lang gid mo class. Sige, we have QC. Okay, QC. QC for number 1 ha. QC1. Matanag 1. Dili lang nakibutang. QC1 is equal to
N2 times O2.
NO2 raised to 2.
NO. Run ba dito? NO2
Oh.
over
NO. NO raised to the power of 2, then N2
Hagay. It's
N2 plus O2.
N2
times
bracket plus O2 times
O2.
times
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 O2.
times O2.
Q1. QC1. What about QC2?
NO2 to the power of 2
N NO2
to the power of
power of
To the power of 2 over
over NO
over
to the
2
power
and
of
NO
power of
NO
2
to the power
times
of
O2.
times 02.
O.
Times O2.
Okay. Now, class, how are we going to ano mo siya, no? Okay, using this one, class, what is the overall? QC overall. That is, we times QC1
QC1 and
T1
QC2.
times QC2. Okay. So what is QC1?
NO raised to the power of 2 over
Two
N2 times
times
N2
O2
times O2
times
Over
NO2 to the power of
over
2 over
NO
NO to the power of
2 times
Or
O2.
Okay. Now, how do you do that?
Find the
Multiply.
value first of the QC.
Okay, times na to class. It times. So, what's this? NO2 times NO2 over.
makuan na ang NO to the power of 2,
NO2
ma-cross
to the
out.
reference
Kuan
4.
cancel out ang NO.
Cancel.
Cancel ang NO.
cancel ang kuno
Okay,
NO2.
So,
we will be left with
NO2 to the power of 2
To raise to
2 raised to the power of
to the power of 2
over
okay, we will be left with
NO2
wait sa class ha.
NO
We will left with ano sa to? NO2
NO2
over
ay over N
over
N2
times
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 CO2
Times to O2.
times
O2
times
positive.
NO raised to the power of 2 plus times O2.
Kani class?
Ma'am, agi ka ng CO2, ma'am.
Oh, lagi no. Tingala po ko. Wala sa
Ora man siguro si O2.
Ikaw rin may
O2
kasulat na ma'am tingala mo ma'am.
Okay. So we have tingala gay ko walo na tulo. Okay.
O2 to the power of
Yun.
To O2 dapat.
Oh.
O2.
Oo, ma'am. O2,
O2
ma'am.
to the raised to 2.
O2 to the power of 2 kay coefficient man ang
O2
Oh,
2.
ni
yes.
siya.
Auto, ma'am. To the
Yes,
Ay,
to
ma'am.
power of
ni.
O2 to the power
Okay.
of 2.
Here we have O2.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Auto
here.
na dala,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Dahil sa kuan, ma'am,
Yes,
dito
so
sa
we will
final, ma'am, sa
have
overall,
O2 to
auto
the
over
power of 2.
raised to the power of 2.
pila na? Kay duha na. Very good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
I-add lang sila.
Kay kung 2 kay coefficient man do.
Wow! Yay! Right na, oy.
Yes, focus sabot.
Yay! Okay, so this is our, QC final. Now, it is us here. Now, if ato ni siya himo QC, final. Okay, diri daw ta class, magbuhat ta diri. QC if QC here. So, with this will become QC sa overall class. Here.
And to,
In
and
auto
to,
And out
So,
will raise to the power of 2 then, and 2 times
and
O2
out
raise
times
O2
O2 raised to
raised to
2.
the power of 2.
Raised to the power of 2.
Very good.
Okay, now, the same class.
Na white screen na, ma'am.
Okay, kana.
Okay na, ma'am.
Okay, this one. So, the QC nga itong gikuha from our sum of our reactions,
Yes, ma'am, same.
reaction equation, is it the same with the QC nga atong gitimes kada isa-isa nga QC? Here ang itong isa-isa nga QC. Is it the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, parehas.
Same siya, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so that means that we have proved it. Okay, so that is letter A. So we will prove na ang QC1 times QC2 is equal to QC. So that's it. Now letter B. Calculate KC for the overall reaction. What is KC, class? KC.
Equilibrium constant.
Pwede to ibalik tong solution ni mo atong kuan, ma'am, among screenshot.
Kana.
Ay, pag umalta pa sa
Then
first
kani
naman
po
na
isa.
introduction ni nakuha na to.
Ay, tubagani.
Sulat-sulat ana na.
Why ba na sambo ba na ay saan ka bubaling kan daw tungkol yun ka sa Canva?
Okay, now let's go. Let's go.
Yan, naka-record
So we
na yun.
have. Okay. So letter B, class. When KC is what is KC, class?
Equilibrium constant, ma'am.
Yes, what
Constant
is
na
the
to
value
siya,
of
ma'am.
KC? KC overall.
4.3 times 10.
KC overall is equal
times
to
2 sila, ma'am.
KC1 times KC2. Diba? So we
Yes,
have that
ma'am.
one. Okay, the value of KC1. What is the value of KC1?
4.3
4.3
times
times 10
10.
raised to the
4.3 10 raised to the power of
negative
negative 25.
25.
Times
6.4 times 10 raised to the power of 9.
Okay, calculate.
2.8 times 10 raised to the power of negative 15.
100 ko da.
Okay, unit.
KC.
No unit, ma'am.
Unitless man ang
Why
unitless
not?
ang
Man ang
Q.
equilibrium
Okay.
constant.
Okay, so class, the KC, the key and the Q here are unitless. Why?
Unitless.
Okay. Why?
Sa nag-measure sa reaction.
Hmm? Okay, class. K is unitless because here, class, the value of our P, the value of our concentration and our pressure later is used in equilibrium expression. When it is used in this equation, class, in equilibrium expression, there are ratios of the concentration or pressure to a reference exactly at 1 molar kung concentration or its thermodynamic standard state quantity. So we have this one. Our class, our K here is unitless because, example, if we have our 1.28 molar, okay, 1.28 molar. Now that is a that is a ratio of our standard state, of our thermodynamic standard state quantity, that is equal to, that is a ratio of 1.0 m. So that becomes unitless, 1.28. So example class, if we have 6.28 molar, what will happen? It will become a ratio down to a thermodynamic standard state. When we say standard state, it's 1.0 molar. So we have, it's a ratio. When we say a ratio, it's denominator over numerator over denominator, 1.0 molar. So cancel, we are left with 6.28. So that's why our K and Q are unitless, because they are a ratio of a standard state. Standard state, if its concentration, that is 1 molar. Okay, 1. Now, if it's a pressure, so if we have a pressure, so that's a standard state. The standard state is 1 atm, atmospheric pressure. So that's why ma-divide ra gyapon siya sa iyahang molar. So that's why we will be left with our K na unitless. Okay? Question? Class, napa mo?
Nan, ma'am.
So far.
Walay kurinti, lubat na ko.
Ma'am, magpa-send me ay aning record sa ato ang koan, ma'am, class.
Yes, ma'am. Para
Yes.
maka-review mi,
Nga,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Oh.
Salamat
Pag
tan,
subscribe
ma'am.
mo ha, subscribe. Lubat na kaayo
Yes,
mo
ma'am.
tas.
Asa, ma'am? Sa YouTube,
Yes,
ma'am?
ma'am. Ma'am, ang YouTube
Yes,
nimo,
sa
ma'am, i-public siya, ma'am. Ayaw yan listed kay para daghan makakita.
Unlist.
So, wala
I-monetize
naman
na
ako
na, ma'am.
kabalo na.
Kung
Ayaw
nato, ma'am,
kabalo.
unlisted kay kami rin makakita, ma'am.
Dili pa man ata na siya
Hindi mo lang send.
public, basta dili pa na siya moabot og katong limit niya sa iyang audience.
Katong
Dili,
monetize.
pwede
Dili,
raman
pwede siya
Pwede raman,
ma-public.
Pwede man siya ma-public
Pwede
host.
raman
Hindi mo
niya.
siya ma-public.
Ma-public siguro sa katungkuan kinahanglan.
Sige na, niya na ng public. Alright, so, check atong answer ganina, 2.8 times 10 to the negative 15.
Yes, ma'am, correct.
Okay.
Ma'am, correct, ma'am.
Alright, now let's go. Nalubat na should class. No, sayang king time. 10. Wala kurinti. Okay. So we have, try sana ko. Okay, we have calculating variations. We have, okay, if that one, the QC is, all right, no question with this. What's money? Okay, no question with this. If we have this one, okay. Hello.
Wala ang kinahanglan, ma'am. QC.
None, ma'am.
Okay. Now, if
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
we
ma'am.
have this one, okay, class, ano siya class ha? Q prime or Q naught is just
Apostrophe.
equal to 1 over QC. So example, if we have our QC is 2.8 times 10. So what will be our Q prime? Q prime is what?
Oh, calculator rin niya.
Calcio. That is
Muli
what?
ka, ma'am. Putol-putol.
Putol.
I-times lang na, oh. Ay, divide.
-5.
Oh, I divide drag 1. 1 divided by 2.8. 2.8 times 10 to the negative 5. Okay, no question. This one, ha? Then we have this one. Q prime is equal to Q raised to the N. Okay, now class, if we multiply, if we have this equation, okay, first, kanima na siya, no? This one is equal to this one. Agree? Now, when we multiply it, when we factor that one, the N here will become this one. This is Q, di ba? This is Q, and this is a coefficient, so it will raise. Sakto?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ay,
Yeah.
wala lagi nag-move sa ako. Sorry.
Karon pa. Sa kwapod.
Karon
Lahig mo.
Kuwapod.
Naulahi ang kuan ma'am, ang imong gisulat.
Natingala ko
Oh,
na
sige,
nagsulti si ma'am.
Okay, sige na. Okay ra. So we have this one. Now, if when we multiply an N, so ang N daw mahimong coefficient. Agree? Agree?
Yes,
Kay kani
ma'am.
this one is your Q mani QC. Now, if we have N, then ang QC, we have Q. Di ba, inigana man na sa, mahimo na siyang QC prime. Inaon-on man na siya, QC. Ano, di ba? So, this one is true. Okay na siya, correct na siya. This one is your coefficient. This one, the N here will be your coefficient. Then, QC, kato imuhang, compound, then the coefficient will become an exponent. Question. None? Okay. So, we have that one. Lobat po ng isa. Okay. Nawala si Corinthi class. Napa mo?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we have this one. Mag-exam na ta.
Halak ka.
We have
So,
Ayos, ma'am.
hala.
Ayaw sagsabay ma'am.
Ayaw sa
next
mga.
to next week pa man. Next week Thursday.
Ay, yes.
Next week Thursday.
Nasa exam next week.
Unsa man lang ni mag-video na lang ko. Mag-video ko.
Pag-video na lang ma'am.
Video na lang, ma'am.
Maayo pa ma'am.
Mas maayo.
Video call na lang, ma'am.
Ha?
Video na lang, ma'am. Din upload
Okay.
sa YouTube. Pwede dito lang.
Sige, mag-video
Video
na.
call.
Same na lang atong una, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, so we have this one, N2 plus 3H2. Okay, that one. So we have, if we change the coefficient of the equation, which we call the reference equation, what are the values of Kc? Okay, so if we change down,
Katong
the
delta.
reference equation is, okay, 1/3. Okay, multiply na siya 1/3 na factor class. Katong Q, the Q is, we have 1/3. So, if that's it, K man din eh. If that's the case, so we have K raised to the 1/3. Follow? Letter A, K raised to the 1/3. Because class, the reference niya yung gipasabot class, this one. This one is your reference. It could be Q reference or K reference. This one is your reference, QC reference. Lubot na good. Okay, times N, so that will become QC reference raised to the N. Now, if we have here class, if we have 1/3 as our factor, so 1/3 here will become our exponent. Okay, since the value, the K reference is given, which is 2.4 times 10 to the negative 3, so that's 1/3. Okay, then letter B, which is 2.4 times 10 to the negative 3 times negative 1/2 daw. The reference is 1/2. Okay. So, class. This one class, notice ha, N2, and then we have H2. Then we have here, we have here NH3, N2, and H2. Class, this one is a forward reaction. This one is a forward reaction. That's why we use 1/3. And it's positive. Positive because forward. Then 1/3 is manotice na nato sa ihang stoichiometric equation. Then, here becomes 1/2. Yes, noticeable na
Wala lagi
1/2.
nag-move.
How? Okay.
Nag-drawing ka, ma'am? Or nagsulat ka?
Wala siya nag-move, ma'am.
Okay, sige na lang. Letter B, class, letter B.
Minsan po
Nag-drawing ko, class. However, class, this one, NH3, the product becomes a reactant here. So it means this is a reverse reaction. When it is a reverse reaction, negative. Negative, class. Negative. So that's why we use here negative 1/2. That's why our exponent here is negative 1/2. Follow?
Copy, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Basta reverse, ma'am, no? Negative siya, ma'am.
Copy. Oh, yes. Mo negative siya. Mo negative. Yang ibali.
Okay.
We have, ano, class, ano na ko, lubat na. Ay, wapoy. Okay, so
Video
we
na lang, ma'am.
have, okay, video ha, para
Yun na lang si
exam
ma'am
ta,
kay
ano.
sa ikuan pa ni nga. Dili na kayo na mo makita ang mga ipang sulat.
Yes, ma'am. Maliit ang imong kuan, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Putol-putol pa jud ka, ma'am.
dili.
Oh, sige, sige.
Istorya ka, ma'am, video.
Makasabot na
Yes,
mag-video?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Makasabot.
Yes, ma'am. Basta,
Ma'am, basta
same lang
i-indicate
gyapon ang
na yung
explain,
ayo,
ma'am.
Hinay lang, ma'am.
Sige, sige.
Dayon,
Oh,
ayaw
sige,
nagipasa,
sige.
ma'am, ha?
Oh, dayon,
Hinay
maghatag
lang,
kog
ma'am.
problem, class ha. Maghatag kog problem for you to practice, and then, dapat kabalupod mo kay, usually kay kana ra pud na ang problem kay isulod ra ba na ko sa exam. Okay.
Graded na, ma'am, nga problem, ma'am.
Yes, all graded. Okay, ano man siya? Katong last, pag-grade man to
Sige,
nako.
ma'am.
Okay, class, ana, di ba ang atong quiz o ang atong exam is the same weight, rabi, no? 50-50. So, kung ano na gets makakuha kay sa exam, at least you do good in your quiz kay the same weight ra na sila. You pass kid sa quiz, bahalag unsa. Basta kay kasabot jud mo. Then sa
Ma'am,
exam,
mangutan na lang ko, ma'am, about sa katungkuan, ma'am.
Sa exam.
Sa exam. Katong score ninyo sa exam, ano na to? Lubat na kay ko. Unsa man?
Ma'am, pwede ko mangutan na, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
About sa katong laboratory, ma'am.
Oh, then the
Ayun.
laboratory will do it Wednesday. Wednesday
Sus,
ha.
nakalimot ta
So,
siya.
dili pa na mo to ansiran, ma'am.
Ayaw sa
Katong laboratory,
tansiri.
ma'am.
Oh, ayaw sa tukidungan rata.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Copy, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Kaya naglibog ni.
Oh,
Okay,
then,
ma'am.
Kapit
Okay,
si ma'am.
ma'am.
Nag-late na ni Mango.
Di sa ron, sir, man?
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes.
May kulas ka.
Ma'am, kuan na, ma'am. Na to sa Friday, ma'am. Pwede may mga kuan, ma'am. Kining list sa mga topics, ma'am.
For exam?
Coverage sa
Yes,
exam, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Coverage,
Oh.
ma'am.
Oh, sige, sure. Eh, di ba, i-review mo punta mo pagka Monday, yan na, di ba? Katong last, i-review
Yes,
ka mo. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, anan.
So, lami mo kutong na-advance,
Oh,
ma'am.
the
Kaya maka-advance
coverage,
rin, ma'am.
chapter 2. Chapter 2 tandan. That's the coverage.
Chapter 2 na, ma'am. Copy,
Oh.
ma'am. Copy.
Sige. Class, lubat. Nag-X na akong laptop. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, ma'am.
Wednesday,
Bye, ma'am.
Salamat, ma'am.
Wednesday
Bye.
for the
Bye,
exam.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you,
Bye-bye,
ma'am.
ma'am.
X yun.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you.
Love you, ma'am.
Bye,
Agoy,
ma'am.
Adrian.
Agoy, recorded ra ba? Recorded. Tayo mo,
Alay,
tayo mo.
Ala
Oh,
ka,
may
ala.
record, oh.
Kaya,
Record
Ala.
sa kilid. Kita niyo sa kilid.
Patay, patay.
mag-joke ra ta, ma'am.
Disgrasya, oh. Ang record, oh. Pula kayo.
Mag-joke ra ta, isa.
Patay.
Ma-headshot mo dira.
Adrian.
Cool.
Si Jumel to, si Jumel.
Jumel to,
Ang I
Jumel.
love you.
Adrian, Adrian.
Jumel.
Sa prank
Patay ka.
tayo. Recorded.
Jumel to?
Kaingon ay.
Oy, apas na tayo.
Jumel ay.
Apas na tayo mag-joke ba?
Rian, record oh.
Jumel to,
Apas na tayo
Jumel.
mag-joke lang, joke.
Joke ra ta, ma'am ay.
Medyo po niya.
Pero,
Binabawi.
Okay ra na, guys. Okay ra. Udawat na ba si mama lang nga ng mga joke-joke?
Lovable biya sa mga ay.
nahiya. Nahiya.
Adrian lang pala mo eh. Grabe.
Kwan biya ka na,
Kwan,
we need to love each other ba ya?
Grabe si Adrian kanina. Oy.
Minsan din mga tao nga kayo na lagi nila.
Ikaw.
Marag mga nasa lagi pambalikan ata.
Mga kwanto sila, mga reverse reaction to.
Wala man to.
Jumel.
Yes.
Reverse reaction to.
Reaction ito sila. Wajud ko kasabot na.
Oh.
Mula na, what is the kisi? Asta, na.
Basta, timan ni Jumel, nga kita, kuanta forward ta, reaction, forward.
Kasi may kuya.
Nagdilumbaan na sila istorya.
Kaya Jerome.
Ah.
may.
Nganong ako man, nganong dili si Kyle.
Kaya man ko magdudlo.
Ala si Lloyd.
Basta timan ang galit ninyo, basta magsagol galit tao kato sila, equilibrium na to, kaya na reverse na forward.
Batas.
Di ba, Jumel?
Dito into di unsa to nyo pagkuha.
Ang saman sa intro sa Kem? Lab?
Dili, karon god kanina sige mo sa storya at nga pang yaw-yaw ninyo ko na sa isa.
Katong
Science.
oh my God.
Muto nangutana ko ni Ma'am ganina kung how out ang solid kaysa kuan man god sa measurement man god ato sa QC. Ang ilang gikuan man god to is only gases lang. Mo bitaw tong nag-question ko kay kung ako ga-question na to, abot lang og istorya papunta kan no ma'am. Basi maglibog na tayo nag-abot sa final.
Mao gid yan sa gas ra jud ang pwede daya.
Yes, dili gid siya pwede ang liquid. Kay gaseous lang gyud ang kuan i-measure nimo sa QC. So magpasalamat ta og nice solid.
Yeah.
Mm.
What is one? Puro sila solid or liquid. Wala siya gas mo. Kuan ra gihapon.
Dili po na siya mahitabo kay basta magkwanta, mag-topic galitag about sa equilibrium then pag human Quotient constant naagi na siya gas nga kuan.
So, pwede ra ikuan kumbaga i-combine ang solid or solid gas or liquid gas.
Di basta kung ang iyang liquid, ang limbawa kay katong H2O ganina, liquid man to siya pero kung ang iyang kuan, iyang nakabutan naka-indicate gali niya o gas, apil gid siya sa kuan.
Tanggi.
Nawait ka na tayo storya ko nag
Daoy ga.
Wala man ko gatuon, lang ko YouTube.
Dapat science pa dyan eh.
Mayo jud ka kuya ay pari.
Si Kyle, dili mo
Si Kyle
tudlo,
dili mo tudlo si Kyle ninyo.
Ang luba si Kyle ay mahadlok.
Pero kaya rin na ilaban lang para
Laban dyan. Asa naman to si Jumel? Wala naman. Bitaw ay i-type gali ninyo sa kuan. I-diretso bitaw ninyo type ang equilibrium sa YouTube. I-discuss nila tanan nga about sa kuan equilibrium. Maskin ka ng QC, KC. Ang ako bitaw sa assignment bitaw nako no sa number 2.
Oh, sige ya.
Kabantay mo to number 2 na to sa tong assignment. nag-reverse ko ato
Yes,
para
kuya.
makita ginako kung sakto ako ang equation sa kisi. Bitaw,
Sana
ako tong
all.
gi-reverse. Kuan man, kinaman gud siya kana dito sa topic lagi sa YouTube, naa siya kuan kini another way para ma-check nimo kung ang nimo ang kisi correct.
So kuan ka ng checking.
O checking type siya.
Checking.
Gipakita man ako to pong nahiyan. Ambot lang ug unsa pud iyang reaction na to. Kay nagkuan man siya, nalit man pud siya og submission. I-try gali ninyo og lantaw. Dako. Nalit sinahiyan man og pass. Alas 9 naman siya nakapass sa buntag. Dapat midnight ato.
Sasa man niya sa katong
Katong bitong
atong una.
katong bag-o lang ba nga quiz na to? Bago.
Pastry lagi.
Quiz 3. Nalit sinahiyan. Abi niyag na submit na turn in niya. Wala di ay. So pag mata niya pagkabuntag, gilantaw niya. Wala man na turn in. Pag turn in niya, nabuta turn in late.
Amazing.
Impas.
Lagi
Naimpas
bitaw
noon.
na o mag-pass bitaw. Nagtawo na.
I-double check
ako,
ninyo,
di
oy,
ko
ang
makuan.
ang
Di
inyong
ko
buhaton, i-pass
I-double
ninyo. Di pag human, out mo sa classroom. Di balikin ninyo. Kung naka-turn in ba.
Pila ka minutes sa kuan sa Google Class diri sa kanang pag-turn in na yatas. Usa ko pagkuan, usa na ko sige na ko balik-balikon gyud para i-refresh ba para lang ma-sure.
Balikan gini mo kay wata kabalo nga nagloading ra dito di pag human wala ito na turn in, impas na. Na late na ka.
Mao ga. Malit na hinuon. Kabalong kuan ni deadline passer to
Then minus ang late.
sa pampas og deadline na pa.
Unya na noon ra, ana impas late na gali, nasamot pagka-late. Lain pa ato ba? Lain beside ato ba kaning sa tong lab bitaw? Nagkatawa ko sa uban kay nag-message man sila nako. Ano sila mangayos sila answer. Ingon ko wala pa mago ko gabuhat kay ngano dili ko mo buhat kay wala man po instruction ni ma'am, wala man po add work dito nakabutang.
Lagi.
Dayon di ba? Kuan lang, basic lang kayo. Din ko nga basic lang, maniid lang ta. Kay wala pa man giingon si ma'am pero naka-prepare nako. Karon kay paglantaw nako sa ilaha kay gisin man nila ilaha og sa dihang 5 ml ang ilahang KL.
Mali gihapon.
Ingon ko, diha pa lang daan, wrong na mo. Ingon nga, ug ako'y may strive to, no? Pangutan-on ta mo, asa mo napita galab? Nga dito sa tuang online lab, wala may 5 ml. Ingon ko, klaro kayo nga gikopya ninyo tong nasa website. Sakpan.
Ay, gani.
Masakpan gid mo.
Problema ba?
Yes?
Yeah. Kanang kuan, nang nakasabot ka sa chem?
Pero dili tanan.
Ako nakasabot ko sa last parking.
Okay, wa dugay ko kasabot ay.
Mo lagi akong giingon nimo nga i-try dito sa FB asa kuan sa YouTube. I-type ang equilibrium. Dayon pangita og katong teacher nga katong nasa blackboard kay maayo to siya ma-explain. Unsa man ang gabangag dira? I-try niyo ba? Sulayin niyo. I-type niyo equilibrium chemistry. Ikuan ninyo kato bitong 53 minutes. Mo to ikuan na ninyo. Kani siya Kita ninyo?
Wait lang.
Kini. Nakita ba? Kini chemical equilibrium. Kita ninyo 53 minutes na siya. Nani si Kipi, Kisi. Di mo muna yung gingon ninyo. Di ba Kisi o Kipi? Kining Kisi, di ba? Kisi man ito gipangita atong dito sa third. Sa second nga question na to sa quiz.
Oo.
O, kung mag-reverse ka, kuhaon nimo ang kipi. Gamiton nimo ang answer sa kisi, i-input nimo dito sa kipi. Ang mugawas aton niya, mo same siya dito sa answer sa kisi. So ang mahitabo, checking ni siya. Kung naa kay kipi, halimbawa, kung kipi ang gipangita, pwede nimo siya i-check through kisi. Nantawan ninyo ang formula sa kisi o kipi. Di ba same lang sila, dili sila murag reverse ang ilang formula.
Gi-reverse ra nimo ya.
Yes, kuha na nimo, i-input na nimo sa kipi ang katong given dito sa kisi. Dayon ang mugawas sa kipi, same answer sa kisi. Pag mo same gali sila, but pasabot ang imong answer is check.
Nan na yan awang. Wait lang kuya ha.
Sige. Ingato lang. Bisik ko nang good. Mubitaw nang naglantaw-lantaw ko sa YouTube. Mga dagan kay ko, oy dagan gi kayo diri may baw nimo. Parihani nga kuno topic o. Reversible. Reaction and equilibrium. Na po ni siya dagan. Explore mo sa YouTube. Krisa. Chris.
Napa din nanawag kuya.
Amo ba? Basta ni ato lang. Dagan kayo diri ay. Dayon, dito po pita sa ito equilibrium, dito po nimo makita ang katong giingon nako nga dili pwede i-apil ang sulid. Kaya
Kuya,
ay. Di ba ang formula sa kisi is product tapos reactant. Overreactant.
kuya.
Ay, unsa man?
Pwede ko mo reach out mo if ever nga kuan kaya ako dili masabtan ba. Pwede ra ko mangutanan nimo.
Lagi okay ra man pagkabalo pug ko.
Gali kanang kuan lang ba. Basin ba kabalo ka din mangutanan lang ko nimo. Pwede?
Pwede ra. Si Kyle ang
Ay sige
tato.
kuya.
Ngano man na si Kyle oy?
Ay. Ngayon sa day si Kyle.
Daghan kayo nga ambot nga nang disla mo ng Kyle. Ambot mo sa kanahan ni Kyle.
Ay si Kyle manggod kuya kay kuan ba siya kanang perfectionist?
Base, di ko ka kuan po sa iya. Pero pag ako'y mangutana sa iya, mutugan ba siya? Mangutana ko sa iya ha.
Mukan manggod sa muhatag manggod siya og kuan sadyang murag maikog lang ba ang mga classmate na tumangutana sa iya ha nga na.
Si Kyle Mangon na siya limitation. Dili niya tanan istorya sa imuha.
Kay kuan ang murag kuan ba kanang na siya kung gusto niya nga kung gusto ka makaka-learn dapat you should learn with yourself then gamay na lang nga inquiries yung pangayon sa iya ha.
O bitaw okay
Nana,
ba na? Okay bitaw na pero problema og dako po kay inquiry ang kinahanglan.
Gagi. Dili ang good kay ang uban natong classmate feel na ko murag na ay crush sa iya ha mao sigurong dili ka reach out.
Nabaw lang. Di nagi ko ako kanang basa abot na sa class out gid ko na.
Ay bitaw kanang basta ni nga ba ang situation ako kay dili ko mo reach out niya kay kuan dili ko ganahan mo reach out Charles.
Diyan, mas apil mo ka.
Dili ay buang. Kanang kuan lang ba? Ay dili oy nang reach out mo kuan na sa una ako pag na siyang giingnan gihatagan og kuan. Kanang gikanan ginako na siya kanang utana man nangutana ba to siya nako or ako may nangutana niya. Sa bahin mangguro ko sa kuan sa una sa reflection. Oh dayon ana siya o nga. Anak ko nga ako siyang gi-offeran kay wala pa man siya sa chow niya. Ako kay paghatag sa chow kato itong ansiranan nga murag mga essay pangutana inig man og kuan. Tapos sa Google Form. Kato paghatag ni ma'am giditso na ko answer din human ako diretso. Din siya kay hapit lang kuan ba hapit lang deadline nangutana siya nako. Anak ko nga ako siyang ikabuangan. Ako siyang gi-try ba. Nga
Ah.
akong gi-offeran nga ako himuan sa shop then himuay ko sa katong kuan lagi daw katong reflective easy man ato sa to.
Ah.
Then nga na siya nga lisudok ayo daghan nga siya gingon then pagkahuman ano siya nga naabdan na to siya 1 day daw or 2 days nga naghimo siya ato. Mo yang
Ano?
gingon ako.
Niya dayon dili
Then
niya ihatag si mo.
ay dili daw siya mohimo sa kuha kay lisod daw ana-ana. Pero ako pagkahuman na mo kuha na tong konbo nga ning balibad na sa ako pud siyang gihatagan katong gipangayo ay kato bitaw yang gipangutana sa kuha.
Ah.
Ako siyang gihatagan gihapon.
Ah.
Then kahuman naghimo ko kuya 30 minutes sir nahuman ako.
Ambot na niya lagi ambot man sa ikon niya sing kinabuhi. Ako pa mina bitaw no competitive si kuan si Kyle.
Ah,
Di
yes.
siya mahadlok siya maapsan.
Pero kuya na gap gidoy katubang nagkuanta sa to pretest or exam katubang napil ko sa top 4.
Ah.
Utang higit wala mo ka naibala nato ang ako pitong giansira na ako pitong pag-answer to kuya no kay ako rang intuition ra jud.
Ako kay kuan man ko ato atong I think 38 ko ato that time. Oo, dito ko nasangit sa kuan, sa equation, sa formula.
Ano na, dira kuya, wala jud ko nahibalan baya kuya ay.
Oh, nasangit ko
Gikan
sa
pa jud
formula.
class. Wala jud ko na kuan ay. Ako ra tong gi mata-mata ra nako ba. Tapos akong gi-analyze din unsa kani no? Ana bitaw din. Og unsay una bitaw mo sulod sa kumuto kay mao man ay permintin ako sundon. Kulitan makuha ko nga kani ang answer kana answer nako. Di na ko magduha.
Si Jumel ato murag 26 pas ko si Jumel.
Promise ay wala biya jud ko ka-expect ato nga to ang score nako.
Daghan biyan taga ka to.
Sure ba?
Daghan na nga taga ka to.
Daoy.
Ako, lampas lagi ko sa katunga. Kay ingon si mama to 60 ra magi daw to. Ang kuan na to. Lapas lagi tawon kog 8.
Rubintahan na lang ito.
Dito ko nangasangit sa equation kay naglibog naman ko sa formula. Kay sa kadaghan biya sa kuan ha more on si kuan bitaw ma'am si ma'am kay dili kayo mo explain. Then moto nga mahatag ra siya og hangout si pagkuman unsa naman tawo ni maestra ha oy.
Maugali to nga kuan, dili kay kuma kuan.
Pero kini sa equilibrium karon di ko musugot og di ni Syakoy. Syakoyon gina ko ning equilibrium.
Okay. Bitaw kuya kanang mangukan lang ko mang-inquire ako nimo ha.
Okay lang, sige lang.
Sa YouTube.
Then mukuha na ta sa kuan ni ma'am sa iyahang YouTube.
Sige kuya kay salamat kuya kanang mukaon sa ko ay pagpabahaw.
Ana, sexy ka na. Trabaho ka.
Ay, kuya, sexy naman ko daan.
Ngiyate! Sana all.
React dira kuya, gagi.
Madunggan gali ka ni Lovely, pero si sana all.
Ay, paminti, madunggan bigot.
Ako tong kabuangan si Lovely. Ko Lovely, dapat magpa-sexy ka para di ka mailag putot.
Ang gagi. La kuya, kasi bitang pag-meet bitaw namo kuya.
Mm.
Ambi na ko taas kay si Kuan, taas kay si Lee.
Oh,
like safe pa kay ko pagadun ako dito og sa dihang paglantaw na ako nila taas mo man dai ko ni Lee di ay.
Ambot ug si pinakataas na to basta ako kay 5'7" naman ko.
Murag ikaw siguro kuya.
Uy nabuang. Di po siguro ay ambot ba sinapa.
Ako wa dili man ko sure og pila akong height good. Pamin ako 5'4" pero ang uban may mga 5'4" daw sila paras ni Lee niya. Taas
Si
ko
Kuan
man
man
ko
siguro
niya.
katong nag-meet silang Kuan ba Rodilin ba? Katong kamo to?
Dili oy wala. Ay katong kano sa man.
Katubang nangadto sa ilahang balay ni Kuan, Rodilin. Daghan ka sila.
Katong bagado nila, ako may pinakataas ato.
Mugali. Ang pinakabubo ato si Kuan no, katong isa gusto nga.
Katong pa kayo.
Kinsa kito si
Japritz.
Oh, Japritz. Nagunaon sa mo si Japritz nga.
Tagadugan ran ako.
Lagi kung nangyati nga mura magkining Kuan hinoon, mura magkining mushroom.
Nag-speak ba ako kuya nga mga hapit-hapit ra guro nako katasa si Japritz.
Mo ba?
Tapos na nga to la. Ay, pagkapot ako dito, pwede ginawang katawa. Huwag ko ka-expect nga to din sila kagagmaya.
Malaka, namoy exam sa PE, no? Oo, I think may exam mo sa PE ugma. Nakay PE, di ba? Jel.
Ay, lang ako.